what would a civilization be like in which everyone had a beautiful death?
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Like,
Hmm.
that's an interesting question.
Hmm.
How far are we from that?
Hmm. Yeah.
And this
That
is
just
it's
that just gave
Illich.
me this image, of just, oh, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Illich too. And this is one of Illich's
Sure.
points. Back to
Sure.
Illich about medical nemesis. Like, that death itself is a commodified process. That death itself that we're taken from us is the dignity to die in the way that we
Yeah, it's the
choose to die.
ultimate. It's the
Yeah.
ultimate. That's why you can use religious language here and talk about sin and things like that,
Right.
because it
Totally.
really is. What could be more of a sin than that, is stealing away somebody's death, or
Yeah.
you're also
Totally.
taking the whole
Yeah.
meaning
And
of
for
their life
Tillich,
at
it
the same
was,
time.
putting infinite worth and importance in something that's
Mhm.
not infinite, right? And so that the displacement, again, back to the resurgence of religiosity about things that aren't actually religion, right?
Mhm.
Like, you hold this belief about this thing X with as
Yeah.
much fervor and religiosity as you would as if it was a religious idea, and it's because
Yeah.
you've invested it with infinite worth, even though it's not infinite. And so
Mhm.
that's idolatry,
That's
which is
idolatry.
a form of sin, which was
Yeah.
plaguing the simulation right now, because we're
Mhm.
loading a bunch of incredibly superficial, transient things with profound and almost infinite worth, not
Yeah.
realizing that actually it's not going to be there very soon. Uh,
Mhm.
or, by the way, it's a scientific finding, and scientific findings change. That's what scientific findings do. That's how science works. So if you invest it all in that, that means we can't have science grow and learn, because this way of viewing the reality of science has become idle.
Oh yeah, well, it's become science is infused with religiosity, so to speak.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're to the blue church, to the blue churchers who would string me up for what I said about the iatrogenic plague and psychiatric medications, because they would
Hmm.
assume that I'm an anti-vaxxer, which
Yeah.
might as well make me a Holocaust denier. And so there's an intensity of commitment, which
But
is
it's not even a commitment to anything. It's just an ideology which you've inherited. It's
correct,
like you haven't even thought about it. It's like
usually.
usually, yeah. Or you're just regurgitating things
Something you saw on Facebook, right?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, God.
Good.
Well, I hope we're not complaining too much here. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. I wonder who's going to even get to this point and be like, these cynical bastards,
yeah,
self-righteous.
because we've talked about death and beautification, right? Those
Right.
two things have been like that's the essence of this conversation, right?
Right.
Both
Right.
things were happening at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
That's exactly it.